It has been so long since I've actually kind of done anything with OBS. It's actually kind of wild. It's been. Hello there. I see you. No. This is going to be something unscripted. I'm actually kind of curious. You're going to hear some clicky clacks on my keyboard because my microphone's right near my microphone. So I want to see. Let's see a warm light screen website. Whitescreen.dev. Orange screen. Full screen background for warm lighting. Oh, God, that's very white. That's not what I want. That kind of works. That's not too bad. It's a little orangey. I could try and orange screen, pink zoom lighting. Let's watch the 10-hour full video version. That's actually not bad. Yeah, instead of the pale light that makes it look like lethal. Wow, that's actually really good. That's actually really good. Um, I'm gonna roll with this for a little while. See how this one goes. So, look directly at the screen, smile, put on a whole, well, not really like a show. Put on a show, like I'm here to entertain you. This is a way to pass time, probably for a lot of you. Some of you might be doing what I normally do. I like to eat and watch my little 30-minute videos of stuff. Um, the best way for me to describe what I'm doing now is I've had a series of projects I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I've never really kind of come to fruition with a lot of things. Life has kind of thrown me curveball after curveball. I've had to deal with a lot of different scenarios. For a long time in college, I was trying to be really cool and make, in addition to like working part time, doing school full time, I tried to do a whole little streamer setup. I was somewhat, I don't want to say popular. I was able to gain some traction on it. I think I got to like the Twitch affiliate thing. And mostly because I knew people in the space. One of my friends, a very good League of Legends streamer, at the time, he was in kind of a high rank challenge. He's still very good. I think he's still very dedicated to being a competitive League of Legends player. He had many. I don't want to say he had thousands of followers. He did not. He got the attention of one of the more popular league streamer spaces, and when I started trying to do streaming, I was like, oh, I could do streaming. I could do like a variety hour type of thing. It was up and coming. It was something new, and a lot of people were kind of exposed to it. People were looking for ways to fill in the time, but I never really had the type of traction or reached out to the type of audiences or blew up or had some kind of encounter where I could really take off in that kind of career and accelerate. I just really mostly did it for fun. I tried it for a bit. You could probably still see some stuff here. I'll leave it up, but I don't really know if I want to affiliate myself with that and go back to what I used to be because I was a college kid. I wasn't really the smartest, and wasn't really the most educated on a lot of things. I looked more into just trying to focus on like building a real like substantial safe career. Uh, I was instilled as a kid to just you need to go for the security. You need to find a job where you can do something and offer a skill set that not a lot of people have. Nobody really taught me an exact skill set, so I kind of just took what I knew. I knew I had the mindset and the rational thinking to really kind of do what I was recommended to do was engineering, and I ended up. You could probably tell I'm an engineer because I look like shit. Um, uh, I'm a little sloppy, but I do my best to keep myself as clean and organized as I can because I'm more on the sales and the business side of engineering. I put numbers to things. I make, for a lot of the projects, while engineers kind of design things to a certain spec and they put all the parts in the right time, everything needs to be designed a certain type of way. You need to be able to accomplish this at this interval and be able to handle this. Uh, Requirements for this particular operation need to be at this interval or this ability. So naturally, when I kind of started my career, I knew I had like a proclivity towards that type of thinking, and I also knew that there was a business side to things. And normally, a good place for anyone to kind of be introduced to a lot of the more engineering specifics is on the business side of things, because wherever there's someone looking to do something, Someone needs to purchase things. That's the way of the world. The entire U.S. economy works on transaction. Everything is a moment where you are exchanging capital for goods and services. That is how production improves. That's how efficiency improves. That's how money is saved. Sometimes you spend money makes to save money. It's a whole, there's a philosophy behind it. There's a whole bunch of books. I don't want to say like there's a whole bunch of you. A lot of you probably know this in your own lives, but I think that interestingly enough, George Bataille talks about a lot of the philosophy of how the three kind of tenets of life, or the three pillars, three columns. Going into the engineering, that triangle shape. Triangles are a stability. There's a common point where they all meet, and that common point at each of those 3 points, one relies on the other and builds on each other. And I think the thing that he preaches and the way he talks about it is life. Life is something that is created. That's the very first pillar. Then there is death. What happens is that when there is life, life competes to survive. Death is the result of the competition. And then the third pillar, there's transaction, there's value. Because life exists and because death is the result, there is a value an inherent value in man. And that's probably the shittiest way to talk about George Bataille's philosophy of how economics ties into kind of the human condition. I'm not here to recite philosophy. I'm here to kind of talk and just have, I guess, more adult conversations. I'm also just practicing and trying to find my way in my own thing, and find more ways to kind of execute projects much like I want to do with myself. Ultimately, I think we have to constantly try and put ourselves out there and challenge ourselves. I think that is kind of the ultimate goal of a lot of life, is to go out there, make your way, do what you need to do, and accomplish what you want to accomplish. I think that I have spent my entire life trying to learn that lesson and really talk honestly and openly. You could tell I'm like looking at like the camera on my side view on OBS a lot. I'm not fully professional. I'm also looking at my screen when I'm not looking directly at my camera to you guys out there watching this to kind of pass time while you're eating lunch, or even just to wax poetic. Hopefully you're even treating this like an audiobook if you can. If you can't, then I'm sorry. I'm sitting here after work late at night. There's no sunlight coming into my room. I made sure that with the blinds. It's late. There's time for myself finally in a rather hectic and busy schedule that I've had, kind of maintaining and just handling things and wanting to do what I want to do. And one of the things I really wanted to do was I wanted to try and do a side project. I wanted to find something new and different in the vein of things I've tried to do before. Maybe not as well, or really, I guess the best way to describe it is I failed. I think that there is a component to failure. It can teach you. It could direct you. It could dictate things for you. It could dictate your path in life. It could reassure you that maybe trying to deviate from something is not the way. In a sense, it goes back to a lot of our points of transactions and interactions. What I was just talking about with sort of George Bataille. There is a transaction. It doesn't necessarily have to involve money. Something of value. Time could be a value. Care, love, compassion for people, that could be a value. There is always a transaction happening somewhere in the world, in some magnitude and some value. It's not just a matter of exchanging money for an experience or a product, a service, a good, a project. It could be a simple exchange of thoughts, like I'm doing here. I'm transacting upon people who wanted to click this video and waste their time, whatever this might be, for my sort of unscripted rant about what I'm looking to talk about. And I think ultimately what I do want to talk about, and now I think is ultimately kind of what brought me to this point, is failure. Um, I don't want to say that every single moment of my life has been a failure. It's not. I don't think I've failed um, every single step of the way, or I've failed to do something. But I think you can gander that sometimes you feel like a failure because something doesn't work, or you don't find the time to do something, or you don't find the ability or the strength, the willpower to put yourself back out there, try and develop something or make something, build something, be something, gain something, whatever the objective you might believe is the end result, or what the expected result is. You know, there's two outcomes to every attempt. You either fail or you succeed. Uh, I think that that is prevalent in how we've built a lot of the world. I think that there is an advanced thought process to transaction. And a transaction can lead to a benefit, a weal, a woe, or a disadvantage. There is no script to this video. That's beside the point. But I think that there is a level of beauty in being able to reduce something to a binary. Not that everything is binary in this world. There's often things where it exists along a longer spectrum. There's a plethora of outcomes, and you can sort of see that you can either chalk something up completely as a failure or completely as a success. One of those two is ultimately where you want to find yourself. That this will come out wrong. This will be a ramble of words. I know that. I'm sure as I continue to hone my craft and I continue to get better at this, I'll script things out better, and I won't like just go unedited. I won't just post these things like I'm doing now, but I'm doing this to kind of keep it real and substantial. I think that there is um authenticity in that, and I think that I want to be an authentic type of person. And I think if that is the result of what I'm doing here, I see this as a success. And some might see it as a failure. Some might see it as a problem. Some might see it as uh, a complete lack of understanding. You're not going to be perfect on your first attempt. You're not going to be perfect on your first try. But I think that what I'm doing with this for me, I believe will be successful because I want to accomplish what I want to accomplish. Once I upload this, I will feel accomplished. There will be a smile on my face, and I truly do believe that. Even as I'm gonna probably continue this rant for a while from here, and you can pause the video and just say, "Wow, holy shit!" He's kind of like forecasting and believing that he's gonna be successful. Uh, my hope isn't not to get like millions of views. I was never expecting any kind of viewership or any kind of notoriety. More so, I want to keep it authentic for someone who might have encountered this by complete chance. Someone who might have stumbled into this in a moment where they feel like, oh shit, life has been so rough for me. As I've been there myself, where, I mean, especially like, I don't want to say lately, but especially through some of the most turbulent times where I was in college and I was struggling to maintain like a decent GPA. I was nowhere near a 3.0 GPA. I was in community college, might as well be City University. Diploma's like right there for that. I had to fight like hell to get that diploma. Um, Both college and the actual physical diploma, they were giving me a tough time about it. But I remember how many times in life I have felt like a failure, and how many times I felt like I did not get the desired outcome I wanted, or this did not work out the way I wanted it to, or this is not how I was expecting things to go. And I think that um, when you internalize failure and you go into any kind of situation or scenario where you feel like you are going to come out failing, I think that that is, I don't want to say self-fulfilling prophecy. I want to say it's not going to allow you to learn and grow from it. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you go in, you just go there to try, and you don't expect anything, nothing to venture, nothing gained, no big deal. There's been plenty of people throughout history who have failed, uh, but I think the thing is that when you forget to try again, or when you don't take the lessons you've learned from that failure and you do make the same mistakes, there's a series of things that can go wrong or cause you to repeat a failure. And it's in those moments that failure becomes a certainty. I think, and there's no guarantee that you kind of find you break the cycle, because sometimes you don't know better. Sometimes it takes a great deal of failure. Sometimes it takes a failure that you really didn't want to happen, or you really kind of were like, damn, I really wish that this went my way for once. I want something to go my way. And I've thought that very much myself. I'm like, something's gotta give. Something's gotta go my way. I can't sit here and just hope that um, things are gonna get better. I have to go out there and get it. Or, oh, well, nobody ever gives me a chance, or nobody's ever gonna give me the ability to do what I want to do. And I think, and this is where I'm trying to do some self reflection off rip. I'm trying to like kind of say this. I don't have a particular concrete example of when I had like this actualization. I think this is just one of those things where a bunch of things kind of have to hit together for you to get a great success. Uh, I think that there needs to be a certain amount of realization on your end. There needs to be a level of experimentation. So there is this scenario where it's like, oh, how I normally approach a situation is good, or how I normally do something is good. So I can stick with that. But I think that when you're not getting results with how you normally conduct yourself, like I used to be very passive, like extremely, like to extreme degree where I would not even like really engage with people. I wouldn't say something. I challenged myself when I was in college to be a much more active presence in class. I like, whether it be calling out questions or even making kind of like snide remarks, answering questions. Like, the snide remarks. Be careful because that can get you in trouble. You gotta. It's a feel for the room type of thing. I've definitely got myself in trouble making snide remarks in class, but um, there is a level of experimentation outside of the norm that you have to do to accomplish what you're looking to accomplish. And I think that that becomes most revealed when you find something successful when you experiment. I think that when you stick to a particular norm and it's not working and you're doing this and this and this and you're like, well, this didn't really work last time, but I think if I try it again with different people, the result will be different. I think that I don't want to say that sets you up for failure, but it doesn't set you up for success. I think when you have a little bit of experimentation, a little bit of self actualization, which means you're coming into your full sense of awareness of what you are as a person, who you are, and where you're most effective as a person, because that's ultimately what separates a lack of success from someone who does not go out to, and try and like earn success. Bad wording. Move past that. To rephrase, when you have that level of self actualization, self realization, when you're experimental, when you change your approach a little bit, you might find a greater chance of success. I don't think it's guaranteed. There's no guarantee in a lot of situations you will be fully successful. I wish I could guarantee complete and absolute success all the time. But that kind of comes into like another one of my favorite things. I guess 3 points. Self actualization. You need to have an idea of who you are and what best defines you. Experimentation, you need to go out there and do something atypical from yourself. You need to try a little bit of a different approach, try and find a different angle. That there's a level of skill that goes into experimentation. And that's not something that you do just blindly and you walk into. But I think what ultimately determines success, and the greatest determining factor, at least for me, is just pure luck. I think that there is superstitions involved, whatever you might call it. Um, there is a lot of luck that comes into success. I think that there is, and I think I have a lot of people have heard this. The world is chaotic. The world we wake up in every day can change on a moment's notice. Waking up last week, like 2 weeks ago, gas prices were like normalized, and then I remember waking up one day and they just shot up 30 cents. Like just that. I woke up and I was at half a tank, and I was like, oh man, gas prices are going to be pretty solid for a while. Like, now we're back down to this, and then instantly, literally the next day, gas prices just shoot up, and like to fill my tank, it's now an extra $3, and I'm like, come on, man. Um, so I think that because chaos is such a prevalent factor in what determines our everyday, success is really just a matter of luck. And I'm noticing that in a lot of things I've done. I've made a lot of valiant attempts. You never know what's going to hit someone at any given moment in time. And I hate to say, you know, that goes for pretty much anybody who watches this. I don't think I will ever uh I'll probably say till the end of time. Me personally, I think the reason why I am where I am personally now more than ever, much more well off. I have a lot of nice things around me. I'm in a new place. I'm still with my folks, unfortunately, but that's about as much luck as I have, and I think that that's the whole thing. I think that a lot of folks will find that they don't know how they got where they are. They don't know where they're going to meet the love of their life. They don't remember how it happened. It was complete luck. You stumble into things more often, and you stumble into success more often than you find failure. I think you get to a point of failure where you go in with a specific goal in mind, and you set out to seek a specific accomplishment. I think you find failure more often than success when you go out there and you put an exact tag or an exact expectation you want on something. And the reason why you fail is because, well, you didn't accomplish the goal. You didn't set that boundary for yourself. I think you when you have that specific item in mind and you have that specific objective, you will feel it's a failure because it has not been accomplished. And I think that makes people feel like they fail. And this also applies to a whole bunch of other things. Like this applies to maybe how you feel people have failed you. You expect them to do specific things, and they don't do those specific things. I've been there. I've definitely felt like if I haven't failed people, people have failed me. And I don't say that is. I don't want to say it's a toxic mindset. I think it's okay to have expectations of people. I think it's like boundaries. It's like healthy expectations of people, but healthy is the key operative word there. The key operative word is health. You want to have a healthy boundary. You want to have a healthy relationship, a healthy expectation, something that, like take from the Bible, do unto others as you would do for yourself. Love your God as you love yourself, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. That type of teaching, I think, very much applies to, especially when you feel like people fail you or others fail you. I think that the greatest thing we can do in a moment like this, when we feel like people are failing or when we feel like we are failing people, I think the best thing you can do, and all you can try to do, is just have an honest conversation. Just say, "Look, I feel like I love this because I learned this in therapy. I was in therapy. Um, I don't want to use this as a bragging point, but I took time to help myself, and I thought the best way for me to do that, especially at the time when I was struggling so much, and I felt like a lot of things were against me. I was failing constantly. I was failing people, or people were failing me. The world was failing to provide for me, and I felt that way. But I think that what helped me realize and kind of I maybe self actuate, maybe I think to kind of keep it sparse and I or sparse. That's the word you're looking for. I think to keep it as direct as possible. I think that if you are honest and you communicate your feelings and you say, "Hey, this happened. I feel hurt or I feel let down or I feel betrayed." That when you have that kind of conversation, word choice matters a lot, how you go about it. But I think if you speak from your soul or your heart, whatever you want to call it, from your head, what exactly is playing in your mind on repeat, you make it about you, which it should be. Your feelings are about you. Your feelings shouldn't be about other people. Your feelings shouldn't be about the economy. It shouldn't be about somebody else's perspective. It should be about your perspective. It should be about what you see, about what you observe. When you're honest with the feelings, and when you're truly able to communicate that level of feeling, I think that that's when you start to become a little more, well, I don't want to say self actuated or self realized, but I think that's when you really begin to try and right the wrongs. And then how you react to that and how, reactions happen and how you move to the reaction happens. If you don't think you're going to get anything further from talking about your feelings, if they start making about themselves, if they start having issues, or if they take response or rejection to what you say, I think that's going to make anything very difficult. I still face that to this day. I still face a lot of, backlash or dissonance. There's a level of um, noise whenever, or friction. Friction is even a great way to describe it. There's a lot of friction when I try to communicate how I feel about something. That in and of itself, that's normal. There's always going to be friction whenever you're having an honest conversation about something. But if you have the honest conversation, I don't feel that that is a failure. I think that that is a success. I see that being honest and being able to communicate your feelings, when you do that alone, and when you are honest in that regard, that is success. When you communicate how you feel about a specific scenario or a specific situation, that is success to me. That, to me, defines success. But one thing I want anybody listening to this ramble keep in mind. One thing I want you to keep in mind is that when you do something for yourself, when you do something because you should be doing it, when you do something because that's what you feel is right, when you attempt to rectify something, or when you attempt to put yourself in a very general, keeping it very general. We're not trying to get specific. But when you keep it general and you say, I want to do this for myself because I need to do that, that is when you start to see success. When you do something for yourself, something that you want to do. It might just be, I want to go out, I want to play, I want to complete a playthrough of Elden Ring. That might be a little bit too broad and that might be too specific because you're putting a, but like, I want to complete this chapter of this game. Or, oh, I want to beat this mission in my city builder. Or, oh, I wanted to, uh, I don't know, I want to do a chain in Helldivers or something like that. Just to name like a few examples. When you set an accomplishment, like broad, specific, they call it. I'm talking about this at work right now. One thing they want to do for us is a lot of personal development. They call it SMART goals, and SMART goals, um, it's basically it's specific. Well, they say specific. And I said to avoid specific goals for feeling like that, but you have a very attainable, yeah, SMART, attainable, measurable, realistic, and time based. So if you have a very um, basic goal, say I want to be able to play through this, I want to beat this one level, I want to get this reading done. I want to read this many pages today. I want to clean my room. I gotta clean my room a little more. I just cleaned it and it already got messy. There's things all over the place. I'm never gonna get this fully clean, but I'll do my best. Shit. Um, there is a level of success you will start to feel. And one thing I notice about success is that success is kind of streaky. um, when you feel like you've accomplished one thing, and then you're in that mindset, like, yes, I did this one thing, then all of a sudden you set your mind to just doing the very next thing. And then that all of a sudden gets accomplished. And I think this tends to happen because you're finding like things or things that are related to one another correlate to something. You start to feel in control or have the ability to kind of tackle what you want to tackle. You just start accomplishing things, and bit by bit by bit, and you find something concise, you find something in a particular range that you just really start succeeding at, and you do that. I'm very much finding that level of success, because you won't run success all the time. You won't. It's just not guaranteed. It's not possible. There are days where you will feel like you have just gone right back to failure. You will feel like you haven't accomplished what you want to accomplish. I sometimes feel like a failure just because I don't do something like this. And I know I want to do something like this. But ultimately, I think if you take a step today and you take time to do what you want to do, and you just do the very basic, you don't have to make it a whole flowery thing. You don't have to do a whole big process. I want to say just a whole big thing. You don't want to make it a whole ordeal. That's like that requires, especially if it's something you're just starting out, especially if it's something you're not really familiar with, you don't really have like skin in the game on, you don't have the resources. Do with do with what's within your means. If you're able to set something up, like I just took the time to set this whole OBS camera up, and I don't even have it properly centered. I'm not gonna properly center it. In fact, I might just not center for any video I do like this ever again. But I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do with what's within my means, because I know I can do it right now, and it's something accomplishable for me. It may not. It will look like shit, probably. Will people not like it? Absolutely. I might even be bullied for being fat, and that's what it is. It is what it is. What we're here, I could give my honest advice, and someone's gonna call me some bullshit in the comments, or someone's gonna let their piece be known, or whatever it might be. They might see this video as an attack because it's on their feed, and in my opinion, that's kind of antithetical to to what's being kind of discussed here. Is, if you feel like the world is against you, or people want you to fail, or you feel like you are a failure, I want you to realize that nobody is ever always successful. There's always a level of superficial. There's always a lot, like even right now, this is really superficial. I'm bragging about how I have I feel like I have the perfect life, but really, I think life right now just feels good for me. And I'm not trying to speak to this as if I'm like a complete superstar. I still live with my parents. I don't have all aspects of my room together. I'm literally wearing well, I can't say what this is, but if you grew up Italian, which I did, you know what this is called. Um, but I realistically, and I've always kind of felt this, is that you only are what you feed your mind. And if you constantly feed into this thought of you being a failure because you don't accomplish something, or it doesn't look perfect, or it doesn't look pretty, I've been a perfectionist for a long time. Holding on to the perfectionist ideal when you're just starting out something is toxic to growth and development in that. For example, like I might be able to keep doing this so consistently afterwards that the video might perform better. I might actually have the video fixed. I might have it centered. I might change it. I don't know. But right now I'm doing what I think is authentically me, and that is my category for success. My category for success is what am I going to put out right now that makes me feel great? And I think that's this. It's not perfect. It doesn't follow a form. It doesn't flow. It's rambling. Half the time I interrupt myself for some stupid comment, but ultimately I think this is something I could come to you guys with as you're watching this passively, whether it's eating a meal, waiting for something, waiting for a train, waiting for a bus, waiting for an airplane to waiting for your airplane to take off at the station, whatever you might be doing during this. This is a time I want you to think about everything you've kind of done up to this point, and I want you to evaluate it. Do you feel like you failed? Do you feel like people are failing you? Do you feel like there's plenty of examples out there that I could talk about forever of where I've either felt like people failed me, or I've failed somebody, or I've failed to do something. I've failed to accomplish something. I've repeatedly failed to do what needed to be done. It's happened. It has very much happened for me, and it's gonna happen for anybody out there. Even you watching this video, you probably feel like you have failed. But I don't want you to see it as that. I want you to see it as, why did you fail? Did you make the same mistakes? Did you go into something thinking you would be doing better than you actually did? Did you not have focus? Did you go in half-hearted? Did you go in expecting this to just not pan out and it didn't? Um, take all of that, think on it, reflect on it. There's so much time in this world, and you could do it much better than just like whatever you might be doing besides this, whether it be just like eating or playing a mobile game or something like that. I don't know if you're mobile gaming right now, or whether you're listening to like watching something on the side, or I don't know why you're watching 2 videos. That's crazy. That's a lot of stimulus. I could never, but more power to you if you're doing that right now. If you're doing something else, or if you're there's so much time in a day, and we try to fill all that time to just like avoid the white noise of, I guess, our own lives and our own consequences of ourselves. There have been many times where I've just sat away from my computer and I've been like, damn, I really got to think about some stuff right now. Or I really got to think about what I'm going to do next, or what I'm going to accomplish realistically for myself. And I think that has been more productive than just trying to finish up a project for work or school, uh, or just anything on the side that I might be privy to do. I think that taking that time for myself to genuinely and seriously consider like everything that has happened for me, whether it has been a failure or a success, or whatever has gone on. I think that time that I took for myself, away from all the stimulus, away from all of the chaos, the crazy, the uncertainty, and just to take that time for myself and think about what I'm going to do next. I think that has been some of the most productive time that I've ever had. And I speak from full honesty of a job where I'm expected to do things every day, where I'm expected to be making money because my salary comes right out of the CEO's pockets. I have genuinely felt much more productive sitting and thinking in silence and feeding into the white noise of the uncertainty of my mind and trying to treat myself and really think about what I need to do to be successful. And it's not perfect. I'm not trying to say I'm perfectly able to do it every time. But taking that time to do this now, or taking that time to do this whenever I have a free moment. Even this is kind of like therapeutic for me to talk about this and talk about a little bit of life experience and be blunt and be honest and be myself, be my authentic self. I am almost fully vulnerable here. I'm as bare as I could be. The only way I could be more is if I take this shirt off completely. But I bear my full open self because this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be honest. It's also really hot in here. The house is at 80 degrees right now, and I live at the ass end of the air conditioning, and it's over on the other side of my room right by the window. So all the heat that comes in from the front just completely blasts away whatever cold air can come in. Not that there's any heat blasting in from the sun because it's dark. Uh, but the point is that I'm here being my utmost vulnerable self to the world, and that can hurt. That can kill me. That can make me feel like a failure. But I think that me talking here right now makes me feel like I am succeeding. And as soon as I click upload, I will have felt very successful. Whatever happens from here on out, whether nobody sees this video at all or the entire internet sees it, maybe people relate. Maybe people just call me a moron. Plenty of people have said very mean things to me throughout life. Just got over it. You can't give weight to words, but you give weight to the things you experience. And I weigh heavily on once I click the stop recording button, which is going to probably be in a minute. I think I'm about done. I'm pretty thirsty, so I'm going to grab a nice half gallon of water. I have a nice half gallon jug. I'll show it off next time of water that I like to drink in a day. I'm going to go refill it and drink some more and get it ready for tomorrow. But once I hit stop recording on this, which is going to be momentarily, and I see this video, I make sure the audio came out good. If it didn't, then this doesn't upload, and that sucks. But once I find time again, and I click upload, or when I have all of this squared away and I click upload on this, with the video title, I will have felt a modicum of success because I accomplished exactly what I want to. And my recommendation for everyone out there struggling with this right now, feeling like a failure, feeling like they have totally fucked everything up or blown everything out of proportion, my heart goes out to you. I hate to say that, but my heart does because I've been there personally, and I know how tough that is. And through everything I've been, I don't hold any hate against anybody. I don't hold any hate against you for going out there and trying. But much like anyone else can relate to here, we've all been there. We've all felt failure. We've all gone through the motions that the world's chaos has plunged us through. But go out there and find something that makes you feel successful. Realize who you are. Find a new angle. Find a new approach. Try something different. And pray or just really fingers crossed. Just fingers crossed that you're lucky. And you get to find that success. Because it's not that it's guaranteed, it's not owed to you, but it's yours out there. And it will be out there. Don't be discouraged. Keep trying. There's going to be plenty of opportunities to mess up, but many, or not really many, maybe a few poignant moments that really feel like success for you. Damn, I'm really good at this. Well, I don't want to say I'm really good at this, but I felt really that felt cathartic. That felt cathartic. But I really think that all of you have the potential to succeed at any given point in time. Go out there and earn it. I believe. I have faith. I didn't for a long time, but I have faith in you, much like I've found faith in myself to succeed. Like I said. And because I'm doing this and because I'm succeeding, now I want you guys to go out there and succeed. And I'm not doing this just to fake wholesomeness or all this bullshit. I genuinely want people out there to feel successful. Because I think that this world is much friendlier when you can greet people with a smile. And you just put your best effort out there. Even when you're going through some of the worst days ever. when you see people out there smiling and having fun, you know that all of your struggles, whatever you do for this world, whatever you try to bring into people's lives, whatever meaning you try to make, and seeing happiness out there makes me happy. It doesn't make me bitter and jaded. It makes me smile. And I want you guys to feel a level of success so you can smile out there too. And maybe brighten somebody else's day. What we do rings eternal. It does. And I'm hoping that once I click upload and this feeling of success, I'm hoping for that cathartic feeling, just like I had before when I said, probably ended this video on a perfect note 2 minutes ago. But once I do upload this video, I think that catharsis is going to hit really good for me. And I hope it hits for you too when you guys find something successful for yourselves. Oh God, the light is back. I'll just cut the end of this video. Cool. Peace.